The alloy and consumer good economy is set to expand at record rates, so balancing those secondary resources in their production is going to be critical, but at least cruisers might be just around the corner. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Legacy of the Forerunners series. As I mentioned at the end of the last episode, we want to focus this episode as much as possible on expanding into the final areas of our territory, as well as establishing some new colonies. Of course, habitability has been boosted across the board, so we're starting to see some more green options, and I'm going to be taking advantage of those this episode because we have the resources to do it, and we can no longer really wait to get all of this territory within our grasp. And specifically, it's territory that we already control, but it's the resources of the territory that we are not yet fully exploiting. So a couple of things I'm going to do right away. We are going to upgrade the alloy foundries on Campira there, and also on Nelvadris. Now that will, of course, let's have a quick look. That's going to change the upkeep mineral-wise, but that's fine, because that's going to convert minerals into alloys. So it's going to more than double our alloy production and really help us build ships and starbases a lot faster as soon as those upgrades are done. At the same time, I'm also going to, let's have a look here. We have Kunbar without any rare resources. What about you? You have rare resources. What do you have? You have a bubbling swamp, which gives me gas extraction. So we're going to go ahead and this is a continental world, so there's an argument for terraforming it, but we're just going to colonize it so we can get those rare resources right away. We don't quite have the alloys for it yet, but that can be changed in a matter of seconds. Well, not really. No, yes it can. So let's go ahead and buy that many, and now we're golden. So Zondaban Prime is now going to be called don't really like any of these names. And we're not seeing too much variation, which annoys me. Okay, so let's go with just random syllables. Idramore. Wasn't liking any of the others, so I made it my own. Not sure if my own is better than the one that was actually provided by the game, but hey, that's what we're going with. So now we need to add Tistra to our planet, but alright, those are to our territory, not to our planet. I was looking at those planets nearby that need to be added to our territory. The readings originate from a small research outpost, which the Oranathi Technoclave has no records of establishing or indeed authorizing on the surface of Sol 5C. It is staffed by one Oranathi scientist, a fairly talented and industrious one if their research on Sol 5C is anything to go by. There is a problem with regards to their identity, however. We have been unable to match them against official state records, and they refuse to identify themselves, save for stating they are an exile. They have expressed an interest in returning to Nelvadris and serving the Oranathi Technoclave directly on the condition that the ISS Champadarian immediately depart Sol 5C and no Oranathi ships ever return there. Out of the question, search every nook and cranny of that outpost. So we just gained some physics research. Cold and empty. There is nothing unusual about the research outpost itself. It is a little bit of temporary shelter erected against the savage elements, allowing surface-level planetary study for a limited time before it wears down and conditions become untenable. So no closer examination seems to have been made of the mineral outcropping the outpost foundations rest on. Scans by the Champadarian indicate that the geological formation, a mountain mostly buried under ice, may be partially hollow. More alarmingly, Science Officer Badri Densukar reports that the sole inhabitant of the outpost, the mysterious exile, has gone missing and is nowhere to be found. Puzzling.
Special project concluded.
Team Owner Science Officer Durham de Vitoris has finished their expedition on Huff 5 and returned to the ISS Datarian. Sadly, the wrecked starships on the surface were too badly damaged to recover any useful technologies. However, it looks like we're getting some engineering research, or we will as soon as we have Huff in our territory, which, yeah, that's within the range that we would like to exploit, and some additional experience for that scientist as well, which I can't complain about. Let's go down to speed 2 because things are happening kind of quickly.
System survey concluded.
So we want to continue colonizing wherever we have any kind of special resources. The ISS Ponderanian never made it all the way to GF 53 and 951 to study the anomalies surrounding it. The ship, along with science officer Derm Den Vegors and crew, blinked out of existence as it was navigating the debris field, then reappeared minutes later. So, let's say unfortunate. The ship's going to come back in a second, and this is going to be...
Construction project concluded.
The beginning of the, words come to me. What is it the beginning of? The Unbidden. Yes. Possibly the beginning of the Unbidden. Not necessarily, but that's the direction in which we might be heading, so I'm going to need to be very careful. Okay, we're going to keep a close eye on alloys. Let's see what else we might be able to upgrade as well. We're producing lots of minerals at the moment, but as we continue to upgrade our production with these new buildings that we've unlocked, that's going to rapidly change, particularly our mineral intake. Both of the upgrades that we are pursuing, here we go. Both the upgrades that we're pursuing are going to reduce our mineral intake a good bit. The missing members of the ISS Ponderanian's crew, thought lost to the Dimensional Rift, have reappeared. They hailed us from aboard an unknown vessel not entirely dissimilar to our own science ships, idling close to where the ISS Ponderanian originally experienced the dimensional disturbance. They claim to remember nothing of their time outside our dimension, aside from a vague awareness of having been away for some time. They wish for nothing but to return to service under Science Officer Derm Den Vegors and intend to surrender their ship to Ornathi authorities. The safety of the Ornathi people hinges on their destruction.
Hostiles.
Alright, so they're here in Unaria. I'm going to send Task Force Campus to take them out. And then what we need to do is we need to reestablish patrol routes, because right now I'm not patrolling anywhere. No, that was supposed to be a queued movement. I don't know why. Interesting. Okay, I can't queue up a click on the return key, so we're going to have to give that order after they're done. Or I can just order them to return. There we go. To Vadris, which is almost good enough. Alright, Civilian Fabricators coming online. Have a bit of an energy deficit happening now. I'm guessing because there's an upkeep difference. Concluded. What do we have? The Grand Herald, here we go. The Hymn of Following was not an isolated event, it was global. Every single inhabitant chanting in unison. Such an unusual event warranted further research, and that's when a new insight was gained. A document called the Pilgrimage of Last Days was uncovered, and it seems to be one of the last links in this mysterious chain of events. So we have one more chapter. The document refers to a specific location on the planet where some final reckoning or ritual will occur, a swath of unremarkable desert location neglected in earlier surveys. The document also speaks of something called the Rite of Lifted Veil, which is now being interpreted. So we have 3 minor artifacts, and we're going to keep digging. Talk Arlith is still going at it. Bless her. She is really coming in handy. Okay, our very last tradition has arrived here. So this is going to increase our fleet command limit and our admiral level cap. And by getting all of the tree, we will have war doctrines and we will gain an ascension perk. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and look at our war doctrine, shall we? I know we have an ascension perk, but is it under policies? Yes, our war doctrine. Maybe we can't select them just yet, or because we're pacifist, we can't use war doctrines at all. That is certainly possible. All right, so far we have done technological ascendancy and imperial prerogative. Now we have access to enigmatic engineering, engineered evolution, which we could go down that route, galactic force projection to improve naval capacity and fleet command limit, which we're okay on that at the moment, I think. We might do that later, but we're all right now. Enigmatic engineering is kind of fun to think about because our technology and engineering is too arcane for others to reverse engineer. So any technological advantage we gain as a result of being the technoclave, we would maintain it. And also we improve our sensor range and ship hyperlane detection range. So there's actually, for role-playing purposes and practical purposes in this playthrough, given our aggressive neighbors, there is reason to think about enigmatic engineering because we want to maintain, again, our technological advantage and ensure that if we were defeated in combat, they wouldn't be able to gain technological progress from defeating us. Grasp the Void boosts starbase capacity 1 vision, improves monthly unity. So this would improve the rate at which we acquire all of these. And then Mastery of Nature Executive vigor improves edict duration, transcendent learning. Shared destiny. Okay. Leader experience gain plus 50% and leader level cap plus 2. That's kind of fun to think about because that would lead to powerful leaders, but I like either engineered evolution or enigmatic engineering the most. You know what? Let's go for the role play. I mean, as often as we might be able to go for engineered evolution later, but I kind of like the idea of having the sensor boost. I don't often go for perks like this early on, and I feel like this would help us maintain, again, our advantage over our enemies. So let's go with enigmatic engineering. Bit of an uncommon choice, I think. Not necessarily as obvious of a benefit, but definitely worth considering. All right, still waiting to fully reinforce Task Force Campus, and of course we have plenty of cruisers to build, as I mentioned. All right, good. We managed to lock down the Platuri system, which means we now just have to get all of this, I suppose. And we'll have... We actually have... I didn't realize this, but we have an entire arm of stars locked down over here. So... perhaps in our expansion, there's not much point in failing to expand in this direction. There's also another L gate there. So that would provide us a lot of additional energy, and it would also, there's an end point. So still playing tall, I promise, but now that I'm seeing that, it's worth considering. Because we've locked down all of this. Isval 3 has been terraformed into an ocean world. Good. Let's colonize it. Of course, we started off the episode looking at Isval 3, if you didn't know that. All right, so there's a dark matter deposit on this world. That's fantastic. Let's go with... yeah, let's go with Turdaga. Of course, we have... a couple of colony ships in play, so you're going to see that affecting our energy to a certain extent. That's okay, though. Alloy production has improved a little bit. Not a lot. Actually, no. Megaforges are still being built. All right, Merida, though, does need some additional love, so I would guess best thing to do here would be to build an additional generator district to make sure that our power situation doesn't go the opposite direction, our energy situation, rather.
Anomaly found.
Okay, sensor echoes have indicated the presence of some kind of unidentified object deep within the atmosphere of this gas giant. All right, Tentramoda. Wait, no, not Tentramoda. Arganira has been founded in the... it's in the frontier sector. So we can set Arganira as a sector capital if we wanted to. All systems within 4 jumps not previously a part of any sector will become a part of this new sector. So that's not really ideal, but we could set this planet, or Kasora. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not... yeah. This planet might work as a sector capital that would be able to include Fenhabanis, and yeah, that's going to work. For now, we'll just keep you on the frontier. And what can we do here? Lots of rare planetary resources. And also, because it's a First League capital, we're getting a lot of society research, physics research, and engineering research just automatically added to our pool from being on this world, which is just lovely. So, let's see what we can do here. I think I would very much like... yeah, we've got to clear some blockers. It's going to be expensive to clear them. Oh, wow. Holy crap, look at this. All of these artifacts that we can gain. Or potentially gain. That's amazing. I'll go ahead and queue up 3 of them. Oh, I'm loving every second of that. Didn't know that would happen. Okay, so we have enough to build another starbase. Let's get one built in Tistra. Consensus, by the way, seems to be that, yes, the influence drop that occurs when you enter into an agreement with another race is mutual. It's not based just on who offered it, which is what I suspected before a few suggestions were made in the comments section otherwise. So friendly reminder, before you try and tell YouTubers how the game works, sometimes you're not as correct as you think you are. But I don't think the advice was offered insincerely. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So let's see. Food from farmers, starbase capacity. Yeah, let's go ahead and unlock tile blocker research. Crushed cruiser. The shadow remnants of a cruiser-sized starship can be detected in a decaying orbit deep inside the atmosphere of Churgamore 6. It appears to have ventured far into the gas giant's atmosphere, perhaps in a desperate attempt to escape a pursuer, only to be crushed by the atmospheric pressure. The vessel is too deep to be salvaged, but a structural scan of the wreckage has provided us with some interesting engineering data. A remarkable vessel. Excellent.
Construction project concluded. Research concluded. Construction project concluded.
All right, alloy megaforges. We should see a change here at the end of the month. We're still waiting on one more to be built. Good. Research production has just gone up. Experimental subspace navigation. That's for science ships, mainly. Energy credits from technicians plus 20%. Yeah, let's do that. Technicians are the people who work in energy buildings. Energy districts. That's what they do. Or that's what they're called, rather. Let's see. All right, good. Our alloy production has increased. Wonderful to see.
Anomalous readings registered.
Scanners indicate the sandy dunes of Ditram 3A are almost entirely composed of granulate rare metals. Perhaps some valuable resources could be extracted from them. Perhaps. All right, energy seems to be improving a little bit. All right, we have a big consumer goods surplus, so I'm going to start upgrading our autochthon monuments across the Empire. And we also have that megaforger.
System survey concluded without incident.
Here it is. The Ark of Legacy. Hidden from orbital scanning by sophisticated camouflage, optical camouflage, the Grand Herald was finally uncovered. It's not a prophet or religious figure. It is a gigantic Titan-class spaceship. Yes, their world torn and dying due to wars carried out in the name of religion. The Titan was going to serve as an ark ship for a fraction of the population, transporting them off the Doom planet and towards an unspecified promised land off-world. The ship is fully assembled and in very good condition, so why it never took flight is puzzling. It appears that some final battle might have been fought just prior to takeoff, a struggle so fierce that neither side survived in the long run. The Grand Herald is added to your fleet. We got 3 minor artifacts. Splendid. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Nanosand. I don't care about Nanosand right now. I care about this giant ship, which is now in our territory, or now in our fleet. Oh my god. That's so cool. The ISS Chambadarian crew is excited to report an unanticipated find on the surface of Ditcham 3A. Not only are the plentiful sand dunes on the planet composed of rare metals granulate, the sand itself is almost entirely composed of countless broken nanites. These microscopic machines are millions of years old, their structure degraded far beyond any chance for reactivation. While we cannot determine a source of origin for these nanomachines, the society that created them must have been highly technologically advanced. Science Officer ISS Chambadarian postulate, that's the ship, not the officer. Some of the auto text in these, there's still a lot to be fixed. Postulates that the ISS, that the nanites may have been used to terraform the surface of Ditcham 3A millions of years ago. A few typos there. All right, so, astounding. I already read too quickly for my own good. When there's typos, that's just giving me too many reasons to trip. All right, so let's see. 16. Oh yeah, we can definitely put the Grand Herald with Task Force Campus. Fantastic. Okay, so now no one's going to mess with me. Beauregard, I still want you following Task Force Campus. And I want to go ahead... I need to go ahead and upgrade my stations to a certain degree. Oh, good. We have the ability to do it. Let's see. I think upgrading you is a good idea. We'll upgrade the Intham station as well. Right now it's an anchorage. We're going to dismantle that. Yeah, I don't need an anchorage here. What I need you to be is something else entirely. Let's have a gun and eventually missile battery when we have the resources for it. I know that reduced my naval capacity a little bit, but I don't, frankly,
research concluded.
Care too much. We'll get it back in other ways. Mining station output plus 10%. Good. That's energy and minerals. I do want space torpedoes, faster destroyer build speed. Ooh, nanoplants. So this will improve our alloy production even more if we go ahead and upload this. Let's go ahead and do it just so that, that we have that option already as a technology is a pretty big deal. So let's pursue that. Seems like amenities are a bit of a problem on this planet, so let's build another city district. Not the only option for improving amenities, of course. I know that. Oh, that's right. Tok-Arlith can continue exploring, can't she? Let's take a look around for other anomalies. I'm really surprised that she's doing as well as she is. One thing we can do is we can use the Grand Herald to kill the Grand Dragon, the Shard, here. So that's something to bear in mind. All right, tell you what, why don't we just send Tok-Arlith off exploring and let her find stuff? Seems like a good idea to me. We have some additional colonies we can throw down as well. Let's see, where are our colony ships?
Initial colonization phase commencing.
We have one heading there. We have a colony starting in Zondaban. I think this is the one that I really need to land on. Has natural beauty and everything. So we could wait for the resources to... Oh, we actually have a bit of a food shortage. Good to know.
Anomaly found.
Sensors are reporting a number of possible points of interest within the dense debris field surrounding... Okay, so yeah, the dragon's still causing trouble. Healthcare campaign edict has expired. Let's bring it back. I'm going to have to sell some consumer goods, it looks like. Which is fine. I can sell consumer goods. I can also sell some of my rare resources to gain some money back while we have a bit of an energy shortage. There we go. All right, that city district should help with some things. The main energy shortage is, again, just due to the fact that we're colonizing a lot of worlds at once. So I think I would, as soon as we have the resources...
Initial colonization phase commencing.
I can go ahead and buy them, I suppose. Wouldn't hurt too much. There we go. Let's go with Umara.
Construction
Not a lot of options for the random name generator in this particular set, so I'll have to bear that in mind. Right. We should have what we need to finish colonizing over here pretty soon. How are we doing compared to these guys? Yeah, their fleet power is inferior now. Technology level is pathetic compared to ours. So we've made considerable progress compared to the Lozavata stellar hegemony, which is great news.
Construction project concluded.
Yeah, technologically we are way ahead of them. The Technoclave is succeeding, certainly. That first war could have gone either way, but now that we're past it, things are better. All right, energy credits from technicians up 20%. I kind of like the idea of going ahead and researching shields. Also, let's look at the ship designer really quickly. Yeah, we don't have the option of changing the Titan. Let's have a look at the Titan. Where is it? Beauregard's right there. There it is. Look at that beautiful Titan. Pretty nice view, too, given the system is currently flying through. Just lots of asteroids. Oh, wow. We're at the 26-minute mark for this episode, too. I was getting carried away looking at the Titan. Didn't realize we'd run out of time. Okay. Oh, wow. There's dark matter in Rysor, too, so we're going to have more resources to exploit there. We have to think about where we're going to place some additional stations in terms of potential trade stations as well, because we have some unexploited trade value that we need to take advantage of. But I think now that we have the Grand Herald, that we're going to set our sights on the Shard so that we can finally have that colony unharassed, unharangued by any stellar phenomena, while we are also going to continue... did I just say also twice? I think I did. I said also twice in a row. My brain will wake up eventually. We're going to continue expanding in this general direction. We have this arm to lock down and we'll be done. And then I'm going to go about this far. I don't think I'm going to go for Delta Provanus 3 here or Sugarmore 3A. I don't feel like that's necessary. We can add this to our territory and kind of get rid of the border gore and then be done with our initial empire. One of the nice things about expanding that much is it will allow us the ability to explore the new sectored mechanics a little bit more by having a slightly bigger empire. But overall, we're not going to aim to conquer the galaxy. We're going to try and interact with the galaxy to the best of our ability. But we might have to annihilate the Lozavada stellar hegemony in the process, so that'll be fun to do, especially now that we have the Grand Herald. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.